We often equate high income with inherent wealth. But look around. Highly paid doctors, lawyers, and tech executives frequently confess they are living paycheck to paycheck, one crisis away from financial distress. They aren't poor in the traditional sense. They suffer from what we call accidental brokenness. This is a condition where stellar earning capability is consistently sabotaged by deeply ingrained behavioral habits. It's a systemic failure of mindset, not market performance. You see the signs everywhere. The luxury watch bought on credit, the second mortgage taken out for the vacation home that barely gets used. It's the constant pressure to maintain an image rather than build a foundation. Today, we dissect the 3 critical mindset traps that are keeping even the highest earners tethered to financial anxiety. And more importantly, we lay out the investment 101 principles needed to break free and turn high income into true, scalable wealth.
The fundamental misconception underpinning accidental brokenness is the belief that wealth is derived solely from the gross income figure on a W-2 form. True wealth, however, is measured by net worth and financial resilience. It's not about how much you make, but how much you keep, and critically, how much of what you keep is put to work for you. The difference between the perpetually high-earning poor and the truly wealthy lies entirely in their approach to 3 key areas: spending creep, risk perception, and active investment. Before we dive into the specific habits, understand this. Every dollar you earn presents a choice. Is it a consumption ticket, or is it a seed for future growth? When we explore these 3 habits, ask yourself honestly which category most of your income falls into. The answer is often the hardest pill to swallow.
The first great trap is the lifestyle escalation trap, also known as the hedonic treadmill. As income rises, so does the baseline expectation for comfort, luxury, and necessity. This habit dictates that every raise or bonus must immediately translate into a material upgrade: a bigger house, a nicer car, fancier dinners, and more exclusive vacations. The problem isn't the ability to afford these things, it's the lack of friction between earning the money and deploying it towards consumption. This immediate consumption reflex chokes out saving and investment opportunities, ensuring that your financial obligations grow precisely in lockstep with your earnings. A 50% raise that results in a 50% increase in monthly debt payments means your disposable income, the money available for investing, remains 0. You are effectively running faster just to stay in the same place, and the speed needed to maintain this illusion constantly increases. To conquer the lifestyle escalation trap, high earners must implement a principle known as delayed lifestyle gratification. When that significant raise lands, do not allocate 100% of the increase to consumption. Instead, apply the 50-30-20 rule to your raise. Allocate 50% to accelerated investments and savings, 30% to debt reduction, and allow yourself to use the remaining 20% for lifestyle upgrades. This mechanism forces automatic saving into higher ROI activities before consumption habits can solidify. Secondly, enforce a needs versus wants delay period. If you want a significant purchase, mandate a 30-day waiting period. This cooling off period often reveals that the item was driven by fleeting emotion, not actual utility. By consciously decoupling income growth from immediate lifestyle consumption, you transform the raise from a liability into a dedicated wealth creation asset, finally gaining leverage over the treadmill. Our pivot brings us to the core investment 101 concept, treating discretionary spending as a negative ROI venture. The wealthy understand that every dollar spent is a dollar that loses its compounding potential. The accidentally broke, however, view discretionary spending as a necessity for happiness or status maintenance. Consider the opportunity cost of a $10,000 annual expenditure on non-essential consumption, compounded at a modest 8%. The second mindset habit keeping high earners poor is the illusion of high-risk confidence. Because high earners are confident in their primary skills and their ability to quickly replenish lost funds, they often neglect fundamental financial hygiene, viewing safety nets as an unnecessary drag on potential returns. This manifests as underinsurance, inadequate emergency savings, and reckless speculation. They rationalize, if I lose $50,000, I can earn it back in 6 months. This approach is deeply flawed. When an inevitable life event occurs, a sudden job loss, a medical crisis, or a market crash, the lack of a proper emergency fund forces them to liquidate long-term investments prematurely, often at a loss, or take on high-interest debt just to cover basic living expenses. This cyclical pattern turns every temporary setback into a significant financial regression, erasing years of progress under the guise of being too busy to build a buffer. Countering this illusion requires discipline in establishing two critical layers of defense. First, establish a robust, liquid emergency fund covering 6 to 9 months of essential living expenses. This fund should be sacred, held in a high-yield savings account or a short-term treasury bill. Safety over returns is the goal here. This shield prevents external shocks from disrupting your investment strategy. Second, rigorously review and optimize your insurance coverage, health, disability, and umbrella liability. For high earners, their future earning potential is their greatest asset, and adequate disability insurance protects that asset more effectively than any volatile stock investment. The wealthy understand that maintaining foundational stability allows for calculated, long-term risk in their growth portfolio, whereas the accidentally broke are constantly forced into high-stakes, short-term damage control. The third habit is perhaps the most insidious, crippling many high-potential earners: the passive income paralysis. This is the perpetual waiting game for the perfect, complex, high-return investment strategy. These individuals spend countless hours researching esoteric real estate deals, advanced options trading, or startup ventures, only to never deploy capital because they are waiting for the guaranteed perfect entry point or the elusive silver bullet investment. They are too smart for simple, consistent strategies like index fund investing or dollar-cost averaging. The result is analysis paralysis. While they are researching the perfect strategy, inflation is eroding their cash savings and the power of compounding is lost. This habit is driven by intellectual arrogance, believing that average market returns are beneath them, thereby forfeiting the significant, reliable returns that have made long-term investors wealthy for decades. The solution to passive income paralysis is the adoption of simplicity and relentless consistency. This is where true Investment 101 principles apply. Start small, start now, and automate everything. Automate contributions to low-cost, broad-market index funds, Vanguard or Fidelity target date funds, or simply VOO or VT. Remove the need for constant management and eliminate the temptation to time the market. Secondly, embrace dollar-cost averaging, DCA. By investing a fixed amount regularly, regardless of market highs or lows, you eliminate the emotional decision-making that paralyzes high earners. You neutralize the need for the perfect entry point. The high earner's greatest advantage is not specialized knowledge, but high cash flow. Leveraging that consistent flow into boring, reliable investments is far more powerful than chasing sporadic high returns. Consistency beats complexity every single time in the wealth game. Let's synthesize these points by contrasting the two financial archetypes. The rich, broke high earner views money as a tool for immediate self-gratification and status maintenance. They increase their spending with every income jump, ignore basic stability measures like emergency funds, and chase complex, high-risk strategies that rarely materialize, leaving them fragile and perpetually reliant on their next paycheck. Conversely, the wealthy, disciplined individual views money as a strategic tool for leverage and future freedom. They save and invest 50%. The journey out of accidental brokenness isn't about cutting coffee. It's about profound behavioral change catalyzed by financial education. This is not deprivation. This is optimization. It is recognizing that the power of your income doesn't lie in how easily it can buy a depreciating asset, but in how powerfully it can be compounded to buy back your time and future freedom. True financial freedom isn't measured by the size of your house, but by the size of the gap between your passive income and your fundamental expenses. Making that pivot requires humility to embrace simple investment strategies, discipline to delay consumption, and the wisdom to prioritize financial defense over financial image. Start today by analyzing where your last income increase went and consciously redirecting the next one towards investments that work while you sleep. Your legacy will thank you for this disciplined pivot. To summarize, eradicate accidental brokenness by applying the 3 counter habits. Implement delayed gratification on raises, build an ironclad safety net first, and commit to consistent, simple, automated investing to beat analysis paralysis. These are the Investment 101 rules that transcend market cycles and income levels. Mastering these habits will transform your high income from a high-pressure treadmill into the powerful launchpad it was always meant to be, ensuring your success today translates into true, lasting financial freedom tomorrow. If this deep dive resonated with you and illuminated some blind spots in your own financial strategy, we encourage you to start implementing these changes immediately. The fastest path to wealth is often the one that requires the greatest internal shift. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates and comprehensive guides on turning knowledge into lasting wealth. Thank you for